There seems to be a high expectation of quality when it comes to consuming anything made by Jack Stauber. And that's because throwing on anything made by him means throwing yourself into a world of trauma, weirdcore, and my personal favorite quality, vulnerability. And one thing ties all of these amazing qualities together: Jack's unique delivery. You'd be hard-pressed to find any artist that can replicate the same vocal style that Jack has become synonymous with. Unique doesn't even begin to describe what makes his music so amazing. It's the delivery, the emotion that can be felt in each syllable that makes consuming anything from Jack so damn enjoyable. His best work will tug your heartstrings, but it'll also give you that same comforting feeling of nostalgia. Take Databend, for example, a less-than-loved song from his latest album, High Low. It has that 90s movie nostalgia, that same emotion you experience when you reach the end of a timeless classic. But pair that nostalgic high with the somber, almost melancholic tone of Jack's voice with some lyrics that seem to make no sense at all until you really listen to not just what he's saying, but how he's saying it. The song is called Databend, which is a reference to the process of the same name. You force software to manipulate data that it wasn't designed for. That's the process of data bending the software to the data's will, ending up with a product like this. Mix this idea with the somber tone and delivery to get to the experience that Jack is trying to relay through his music. The feeling of fixing others' trauma while you yourself have your own trauma to work through. Let's take a listen to those lyrics again. The first verse is the speaker saying goodnight to someone, with the cycle of day and night going by, telling themselves, "Can I run a lie? Imagine a life as it's ending." This, at least from my interpretation, is the speaker caring for a loved one. And as that loved one sleeps comfortably, they begin to question something that they've done, fearing that whatever it is that they've done isn't helpful or honest. They're living a lie, and in the chorus, it's revealed exactly what that lie is. I begin to data bend. He begins to listen to others' problems very similar to theirs, but how the fuck are they supposed to fix them when they themselves weren't built for it? They weren't designed for this data that's coming in. They don't understand it. It doesn't compute. They data bend the trauma they hear from their friend because it's stuff that they don't know how to fix. They data bend it not to win, not to help themselves, but to help others. Prize out, shitting out helpful advice in the hopes that no one realizes they're living a total lie. Imagine going to a drug addict for help on quitting dope. It just doesn't make sense, and that's how the speaker feels. And as depressing as the meaning sounds, listening to the song evokes a totally different emotion. And this is because of the juxtaposition between high nostalgic instrumentals and Jack's delivery. He's delivering these powerful lines like someone reflecting on their past mistakes, as if they're having a massive self-realization. Combine that with the nostalgic energy of the instrumental, and it leads to the song feeling like a giant hug, as if to say, hey man, I've been there too, and we're all getting through this together. Of course, this is just my interpretation, but I gathered all of that from just how Jack delivers the first minute of this song. And that doesn't even begin to scratch the surface of what Jack Stauber is capable of expressing, not just through his music, but the visuals that he chooses to pair alongside it. If you were to take a guess at how these animations were made, I know for damn sure your first guess wouldn't be MS Paint, but that's exactly what Jack uses to create these stunning visuals. Whether it's on purpose or not, MS Paint is one of the best decisions that Jack has ever made when it comes to creating his work, and it's because it touches on a quality that many seem to skim by: universal experience. If I told you to hop on a computer and within the next 5 seconds draw a few scribbles, the fastest and easiest way most of you would be able to accomplish this is through MS Paint. In fact, most of you watching have probably had similar experiences at school, scribbling on MS Paint while your teacher is teaching some boring lecture about something you couldn't care less about. And when you watch these animations, something about the fact that it's made through MS Paint speaks to that little kid inside all of us that was bored daydreaming in class. And it's not just MS Paint that speaks to the child living in all of us. The claymation that Jack does reads like a kid expressing their creativity through a simple assortment of Play-Doh. The chaotic, unpredictable style reminds me of when I was 5 years old, combining random colors and piles of Play-Doh until I made something that I was proud of. And this might hold some merit, as one of Jack's favorite childhood shows is Rugrats, with him loving the animation style of the early series that is clearly carried over and can be seen in his works today. That lovely, free-flowing state that gives his animation life and that feeling of childlike creativity. Jack takes this childlike creativity and puts it through the gauntlet to end up with the traumatic art that leaves me speechless every single time. There are so many works that evoke a different feeling for so many different situations. If you found yourself reminiscing on a rough childhood, then maybe shorts like Opal or Library might be up your alley. Perhaps you are feeling negative towards the world and everything that it has to offer. At that point, you could relate to his micropop Cupid, or even his minute-long short, Rain. Or you might just want to vibe and have fun, because that's one aspect that I have yet to touch on that makes Jack's work so special. Finding the extraordinary in the ordinary. He takes such mundane life experiences and turns them into pop songs, or even whole musicals, like Shop, a Pop Opera, a 12-minute short that utilizes random everyday grocery items to relate to people's personal struggles. And I could go on for another 20 minutes about the meaning behind this short, but that's a video for another day. The point here is that whatever traumatic experience or mundane life you've lived through, Jack probably has a song or video about that exact emotion, and you better believe that consuming those pieces of work will feel like the most comforting hug for your soul. And that is what I love about his work. A common theme that I always seem to fall back on no matter what I'm choosing to boot up from Jack's portfolio is brutally honest, raw emotion. And raw emotion doesn't only have to be sad or depressing. In fact, the song I've been bumping in my car for the last few days is a micropop he created called Fighter. When I try. And it's not because it's super deep or traumatic, it's because it hypes me the hell up, and it fills me with that same goosebump feeling that I get from watching Goku go Super Saiyan 3 for the umpteenth time. So while I do relate to a lot of Jack Stauber's work on a traumatic level, the reason I choose to stay is because of the comfort that I feel and the relatability that touches my heart on so many levels that I can't explain. Originally, when I made this video, I wanted to go over all of my favorite works from Jack Stauber, which I'll probably end up doing anyways. But you should think of this video as a love letter to Jack Stauber, with the from label being me. Because this man has gotten me through quite an abundance of tough times, and hopefully after watching this all the way through, I've equipped you with the tools to enjoy his work the way that I do. Who knows? Maybe this is the video that'll get you hooked on the traumatic yet comforting world of Jack Stauber. Thanks to everyone that stayed till the end. I will have another video coming out soon about basically how I made this video, because a lot of work went into it that I don't think people will see. Specifically, the intro for this video took me like 2 weeks to make. took a very, very, very long time. And also just figuring out what exactly I wanted to say when it came to Jack Stauber's work, because as I said earlier, I wanted to make a video going over all my favorite pieces of work from him, and I'm still going to do that, but I just wanted to combine all of the emotions and everything that I feel when I watch or consume anything that he makes and put it into a video, because I think that's really the real reason why I listen to him. And if you've listened to this all the way through, you know exactly what I'm feeling. I love putting on anything that he makes because it just touches my soul on so many levels. And yeah, I'm happy with the end product that I decided to make for this one. Now, none of this would be possible without my patrons. So huge shout out to everyone that is on screen right now. Again, you guys are helping the absolute most. If you see these names on screen, these are the people that are helping me the absolute most when it comes to making videos. They also have access to all my behind the scenes videos. They are getting all the behind the scenes scoop on how I'm making all my videos. And you can also get access to that too. Even for the smallest tiers, I do post a lot of stuff regarding what I'm doing, what progress I'm making, and just updates in general on videos that I'm doing at the moment. So even if you're not on screen right now, you are still helping me a ton. There's so many other Patreon members that aren't on the screen that I want to give huge thanks to, because they also help a ton. And it's so awesome being able to make what I want, and just it's so cool. I don't know how else to describe it, so I'm just gonna leave it off with that. And just, I love everyone that watches my videos. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. Now, with all of that said, I will see you all in the next Jack Stauber video. Thanks for watching.